Okay, I'm going to go over a few extra problems on factoring trinomials in the form ax squared plus bx plus c. So the first one, let's look at 3x squared minus 17x plus 10. Okay, and I want to factor this. So first thing, we look, is there a GCF? And the answer is no. So I'm going to go ahead and make my two sets of parentheses. Now, 3 is prime, so to factor 3x squared, if I'm going to split that up in my two sets of parentheses, my only option is 3x times 1x. And then I look to see that my 10 is positive. So that tells me I'm looking for the same signs, that when I FOIL, I'm going to get a negative 17. So that means my signs are both negative. Now, if I need to multiply and get 17, with 10, so for 10, your factors are, 1 times 10 or 2 times 5. But it matters what order I put them in the parentheses because I have this 3 in the front that I have to account for. Well, 3 times 5 is 15, and that gets me really close to 17, and then 2 times 1 is 2, so 15 and 2 will give me a 17. Now remember, if you're going to do the guess and check, the key here is check. So if I FOIL this, I will get 3x squared minus 15x minus 2x plus 10. And if you combine your two middle terms, you will get a negative 17x. So our answer is 3x minus 2 times x minus 5. All right, let's look at another one. Number 2, we'll have 3d squared minus 17d plus 20. All right, so again, no GCF, so we're going to make our two sets of parentheses. Our only factors of 3d squared are 3d and 1d. A positive 20 tells me my signs are the same. They're both minus. Now with 20, so what? Our factors are 1 and 20, 2 and 10. Pen not working so well. Or 4 and 5. Okay, so let's just say I'm going to try 4 and 5. All right, so if I FOIL to check, I get 3d squared minus 15d minus 4d plus 20. If I combine these two in the middle, I get a negative 19d, which is not what I started with. So that tells me that my answer is incorrect. So now I have to go back. Okay. All right, let me try flipping these. I'm going to try minus 5 and minus 4. All right, if I FOIL to check, I get 3d squared minus 12d minus 5d plus 20. And if I combine my two in the middle, I do get a minus 17d. So my answer is correct now. All right, let's try another one. In 3, we have 5a squared minus 2a minus 7. Okay, so no GCF here. Go ahead and make your two sets of parentheses. So 5a squared is prime, and negative 7 is also prime. So I know that I will have a 5a and a 1a. If it's a negative 7, that tells me my signs are different, so I'm not going to fill anything in there. And with 7, our only factors are 1 and 7, but where am I going to put them? If I'm looking to get a 2, well, if I put a 7 over here, 5 times 7 is 35, and that's going to be way too high. So that tells me I'm going to have to put the 7 in the first parenthesis and the 1 in the second. Now, when I FOIL, I want to subtract up to a negative 2. So that means the 7 will get the negative sign and the 1 will get the positive sign. And let's FOIL to check. We get 5a squared plus 5a minus 7a minus 7. You combine your middle terms, you do get a negative 2a. All right, one more example. Number 4, we have 8y squared minus 10y minus 3. Now 3 is prime, but our 8 isn't. So another option besides the guess and check, remember we looked at the magic number? If I multiply my first term, so the 8y squared, times my last term, in this case I get negative 24y squared. So then I'd want factors of negative 24y squared that subtract give me negative 10. So I could rewrite this as 8y squared. Instead of having negative 10, well, those factors would be negative 12 and a positive 2. They multiply to give me negative 24y squared and subtract to give me negative 10. And then bring down your minus 3. Okay, so no GCF. Well, there was no GCF in our original problem. So that's why we had to go with this option. All right, go ahead and make your 2 sets of parentheses. Now I need to factor 8y squared, and I have a 3, and when I multiply I want to get 12y. So to get 12y from 8y squared and negative 3 would be 4y times negative 3. So that tells me my other option, the second parenthesis, has to be a 2y, because when I multiply I need to get 8. And this first parenthesis needs to be a plus 1, because when I multiply I get positive 2y in the inside, and my last 2 when I multiply I get negative 3. Alright, but let's FOIL to check. So 4y times 2y, we get 8y squared minus 12y plus 2y minus 3. And you combine your middle terms, you will get a negative 10y. So here are 2 options for you with your factoring trinomials in ax squared plus bx plus c. You can guess and check like we did in 1 through 3, or you could use the magic number system, which we did in number 4.